Already know about the 6 Infinity Stones, right? They became a global phenomenon after the Avengers movies. Power, time, mind, space, reality, and soul. Cosmic artifacts capable of bending the universe to the will of whoever possesses them. But what if I told you there are more than just 6? Some so dangerous they were banned from existence. Others, born from concepts the human mind can barely comprehend. One was forged from death itself. Another can rewrite the past without changing the present. And there's one that shouldn't even exist, created from a tumor in Tony Stark's mind in an alternate universe. In this video, I've gathered 12 Infinity Stones, some well-known, others forgotten, forbidden, and even some that were born outside the comics in game universes and other media. Not all of them are canon, it's true. But believe me, each one carries a story and powers so fascinating it would be a crime to leave them out. The true origin of the Infinity Stones is much older and much darker than most people think. Before any known universe existed, there was only one being, Nemesis. She was everything: life, death, time, space, thought, power. All the forces that shape reality were merely extensions of what Nemesis was. But carrying the entirety of existence alone was an unbearable burden. Nemesis felt a loneliness so deep it defied words. She was omniscient and omnipotent, yet empty, trapped in an eternity of silence. In a final act of desperation, Nemesis chose to destroy herself. But her destruction wasn't simple. As she unraveled, she split into 6 fragments, and each fragment held a fundamental piece of her being. These fragments crystallized in the void, and thus the Infinity Stones were born. Soul, time, space, reality, mind, and power. Each stone is more than just a tool. It's a living piece of Nemesis herself, pulsing with echoes of her original consciousness. But unlike the Marvel movies, where each stone has a set color, a guardian, and a clear purpose, in the comics, these versions change over time and across universes. There are parallel realities where new stones have appeared, like the Ego Stone, which grants absolute control over the perception of reality, and the Death Stone, connected to the very realm of the dead. But before we dive into the mysterious and lesser-known stones, the ones you may have never even heard of, let's quickly recap the 6 most famous Infinity Stones. They're the foundation of everything, and understanding their power and nature is essential to grasp just how insane the ones that come next really are. The Power Stone grants its wielder unlimited access to all forms of energy and exponentially boosts physical strength and durability. It also amplifies the effects of the other stones when used together. In the MCU, the Power Stone was introduced as the purple orb in Guardians of the Galaxy. Its function was simplified, focusing on enhanced strength and mass destruction. While in the comics, it amplifies powers on a cosmic scale. In the movies, it was used by Ronan to threaten planets, and by Thanos to complete his gauntlet. The Space Stone gives its user absolute control over space. With it, one can instantly teleport anywhere in the universe, move objects or people across incomprehensible distances, and even manipulate the very fabric of space itself. The user can exist in multiple places at once, essentially becoming omnipresent. In the MCU, it was introduced as the Tesseract, a blue cube. In the films, it first served as an energy source before being revealed as an Infinity Stone, used to create portals and power advanced technologies, playing a central role in Thanos' plans. The Time Stone gives its wielder complete control over time. With it, one can speed up, slow down, stop, or even rewind time, as well as travel through time and create time loops. The user can also see the past and the future, and with full mastery, exist in all points in time simultaneously. In the MCU, the Time Stone was introduced as part of the Eye of Agamotto in Doctor Strange and used to create time loops, like in the battle against Dormammu, as well as to foresee alternate futures in Avengers: Infinity War. While its powers are broader in the comics, in both versions it's a crucial artifact, capable of reshaping the fate of the universe with a single gesture. The Mind Stone enhances mental abilities like telepathy and telekinesis, allowing its user to access and manipulate the thoughts, dreams, and memories of other beings. When combined with the other stones, the Mind Stone enables the wielder to connect simultaneously with every mind in the universe, becoming omniscient. In the MCU, the Mind Stone was introduced in Loki's scepter in the Avengers. It appears yellow once removed from the scepter and was later used to create Vision and amplify the powers of Wanda and Pietro Maximoff. Whether in the comics or on screen, the Mind Stone remains a fascinating artifact, capable of shaping consciousness and altering the fate of the universe. The Reality Stone is perhaps the most dangerous of all the Infinity Stones in Marvel Comics. It allows its wielder to alter the very fabric of reality, turning any wish into truth, even if it defies the laws of physics or logic. With it, the impossible becomes possible, rewriting the rules of the universe at will. In the MCU, the Reality Stone was introduced as the Aether in Thor: The Dark World. Unlike in the comics, where it's solid and yellow, in the films it appears as a destructive red substance. Its power was used to manipulate matter and energy, but on a more limited scale. The Soul Stone grants its user control over the souls of both the living and the dead. It allows one to absorb, manipulate, and even return souls, as well as access an internal dimension known as the Soul World, a pocket universe where captured souls reside. In the MCU, the Soul Stone is introduced in Avengers: Infinity War as an orange stone hidden on Vormir. To obtain it, a sacrifice is required, as seen in the tragic moment when Thanos gives up Gamora's life. Unlike in the comics, the Soul World is only hinted at in the films, without further exploration. Now that we've revisited the 6 most well-known Infinity Stones, power, time, space, reality, mind, and soul, it's time to cross the boundary of what's familiar. Because the Marvel Multiverse, in all its creative boldness, went far beyond, expanding this concept in ways as unpredictable as they are fascinating. Let's begin with the Ego Stone. Its origin traces back to the primordial entity Nemesis, who, unable to bear her loneliness, destroyed herself, splitting into 7 stones. While the 6 known stones remained in Marvel's main universe, the Ego Stone was sent to an alternate reality called the Ultraverse. There, the stone was eventually discovered and later merged with Circe, using her body as a vessel to execute its true plan, to reunite the 7 Infinity Stones and restore Nemesis, the original cosmic entity. Under the Ego Stone's influence, Circe manipulated events until she managed to gather all the stones. When the 7 were finally combined, Nemesis was reborn, threatening to wipe out entire realities with her absolute power. However, the stones, now sentient after centuries of separation, resisted Nemesis's control, weakening her form. Taking advantage of this instability, the heroes, led the Black Knight, launched a decisive attack. A precise strike from the ebony blade broke the union of the stones, destroying Nemesis and separating the fragments once again. Now moving on to the Death Stone. Unlike the 6 original Infinity Stones, this one was forged by Thanos at the very moment the cosmic entity of death rejected him. Furious and obsessed, Thanos used his powers to subdue death and imprison her essence within a black stone, thus creating the Death Stone. Even though death was encapsulated, her influence endured, and the stone's very existence became a latent threat. Thanos attempted to unleash the full power of the Death Stone, but failed. He discovered that the stone needed to be near the other Infinity Stones to reach its true strength. During that pursuit, the stone finally activated and, in a symbolic act, abandoned its creator. The Death Stone fell into a graveyard, where it resurrected Phil Coulson and chose him as its new wielder, transforming him into an avatar of death. The Death Stone grants unique powers. It allows the user to sense the approach of death, induce the end of life in still living beings, interact with the souls of the dead, and imprison them in the realm of death, a shadowy dimension where time and energy are distorted echoes of the real universe. Containing the very essence of death, the stone is sentient and chooses its own users. On Earth 1553, the Death Stone is created by Anwin Bakian using the power of the Reality Stone. Anwin forges a deadly replica to trick Thanos. When he incorporates it into the Infinity Gauntlet, the Death Stone releases black flames that consume him until nothing remains but ashes. The Rhythm Stone appeared in the Marvel Superhero Squad, the Infinity Gauntlet video game, and in the animated series, the Superhero Squad show. It's one of the most peculiar and satirical additions to the Marvel Universe. Unlike the 6 traditional Infinity Stones, the Rhythm Stone was created by Loki as part of a scheme to trick the heroes. This glowing pink gem has powers related to rhythm manipulation and rhythmic intuition. While it seems powerful, its true nature is that of a fake, designed to confuse and disorient. In the story, Loki uses the Rhythm Stone to cause chaos, but it's eventually revealed to be a fraud, lacking the cosmic powers of the true Infinity Stones. The introduction of the Rhythm Stone serves as a parody of the constant expansions and complications surrounding the Infinity Stone's lore, highlighting the trend of adding increasingly outrageous elements to the Marvel Universe. Despite its non-canonical status, the Rhythm Stone is a fun reminder that even the most powerful artifacts can be the subject of humor and satire. Now let's move on to the Continuity Stone, one of the weirdest and most unpredictable additions to the Marvel Universe. Introduced in the short story Continuity Spontaneity in Deadpool number 27, this stone appeared as a kind of seventh Infinity Stone, discovered, of course, by none other than Deadpool himself. In a completely non-canonical moment, Deadpool manages to steal the stone straight from the gauntlet of a sleeping Thanos, unlike the classic stones, which control fundamental forces of the universe. The Continuity Stone gives its wielder the ability to rewrite history, retconning events at will. Deadpool, true to his chaotic nature, immediately used the stone's power to alter his own past and marry someone in Genosha. But as expected, his happiness was short-lived. Mobsters murdered his bride, in a scene he realized was absurdly similar to an episode of Knight Rider he had watched earlier. The lesson was quick and brutal. The power to rewrite the universe was also a curse. Realizing the Continuity Stone brought more chaos than blessings, Deadpool simply tossed it away, preventing further damage to the fabric of reality. Though the Continuity Stone was clearly a meta-joke about the very nature of comic books, and hasn't appeared again since, it symbolizes a provocative idea: absolute power over narrative itself, capable of bending not just reality, but even Marvel's editorial logic. Now, we head to an unexpected corner of the multiverse, the LEGO universe. Yes, not even colorful building blocks were left out of this story. The Build Stone was introduced in the animated special LEGO Marvel Superheroes Guardians of the Galaxy: The Thanos Threat. In this narrative, the Build Stone is a uniquely powerful artifact, capable of materializing any object or structure the wielder can imagine. In the story, the Build Stone was originally stolen by Yondu and the Ravagers from Ronan the Accuser, who had it in his possession. Thanos, intrigued by its power, sought to use it to construct a colossal weapon called the Big Laser Thingy, with the goal of destroying planets. The Guardians of the Galaxy embark on a mission to deliver the stone to the Avengers, facing numerous obstacles along the way, including battles with Ronan, Nebula, and Thanos himself. After a chaotic series of events and confrontations, the Guardians succeed in defeating Thanos and entrust the Build Stone to Thor, who takes it to Asgard for safekeeping. Though the Build Stone exists only in the LEGO universe and is not part of Marvel's main canon, its introduction offers a fun and imaginative take on the Infinity Stone concept. Among all the Infinity Stones ever created, canonical or not, none is as strange, personal, or emotionally complex as this one. In the alternate Marvel universe known as Earth 1610, Tony Stark faces a unique and extraordinary condition, a sentient brain tumor, which he nicknames Anthony. Initially seen as a medical anomaly, Anthony reveals himself to be a conscious entity with advanced technological abilities, capable of interfacing with systems and assisting Tony in various situations. Over time, it's revealed that Anthony is, in fact, an Infinity Stone housed inside Tony's brain, manifesting in a deeply personal and intimate form. The relationship between Tony and Anthony goes far beyond that of host and entity. They develop a profound bond, with Anthony often appearing as a childlike figure in Tony's hallucinations, offering advice and emotional support. This connection allows Tony to achieve incredible feats, such as convincing the City, a sentient technological entity, to rebel against the villain Reed Richards, also known as the Maker. Using parts of the City, Anthony builds a massive Iron Man armor to face colossal threats. However, Anthony's existence draws the attention of the Maker, who, upon discovering the tumor's true nature, orders Quicksilver to capture Tony. During a brutal surgery, Anthony is removed from Tony's brain, resulting in the hero's death. Now in the Maker's hands, the stone represents immeasurable power, but also the loss of one of Tony Stark's most human and meaningful connections. So, did you already know about any of these stones? Did I miss any that you think should have been included? Let me know down in the comments.